He was talented, but he was also a mess. Temper, inconsistency, self-doubt. In 2001, few believed Roger Federer would become one of the greatest athletes in history. But then came Wimbledon. 19 years old, facing Pete Sampras on center court. And something shifted, not just in the match, but in him. This is the story of how a wild, frustrated kid from Switzerland stepped into the arena and found the beginning of greatness. Before the records and the elegance, there was chaos. Roger Federer was incredibly talented, but he couldn't control it. He'd lose his temper, break rackets, cry on court. Coaches warned him, talent will get you noticed, but it won't make you a champion. At 18, he'd already lost in the first round of Wimbledon, twice. Key takeaway: potential is nothing without personal discipline. You might be gifted, but unless you master your emotions, you'll keep beating yourself long before the world ever gets a chance. After early losses, Federer could have walked away or stayed the same. But he made a decision: grow up or give up. He began training with new intensity. He focused on mindset, fitness, footwork, and, most importantly, emotional control. Gone was the flailing kid. Enter the composed, focused athlete in the making. He didn't see instant wins, but he saw internal shifts. Actionable insight? The most important changes don't show up on the scoreboard first. They show up in your habits. Wimbledon, the mecca of tennis. Roger entered ranked 15th, barely a name. But round after round, he clawed forward, not with dominance, but with determination. Then came the biggest challenge. Fourth round. Versus Pete Sampras. The defending champion, the king of center court, 7 Wimbledon titles. No one expected Federer to win. But Federer, he didn't care what they expected. He was there to prove something, to himself. Lesson: your breakthrough moment often comes disguised as a terrifying challenge. The match lasted 5 intense sets. Federer served like a sniper, volleyed with precision, and kept his cool under pressure, even when Sampras forced tie breaks and comebacks. What stood out wasn't just skill. It was how calm Roger looked. It was the birth of a new Federer, not the angry teen, but the focused warrior. And then, final point, Federer wins. He doesn't jump, doesn't scream. He just raises his hands and looks to the sky. Because in that moment, he wasn't just beating Sampras. He was beating his old self. Takeaway: sometimes the biggest win isn't over your opponent. It's over the part of you that used to panic, break down, or give in. The match lasted 5 intense sets. Federer served like a sniper, volleyed with precision, and kept his cool under pressure, even when Sampras forced tie breaks and comebacks. What stood out wasn't just skill. It was how calm Roger looked. It was the birth of a new Federer, not the angry teen, but the focused warrior. And then, final point, Federer wins. He doesn't jump, doesn't scream. He just raises his hands and looks to the sky. Because in that moment, he wasn't just beating Sampras. He was beating his old self. Takeaway. Sometimes the biggest win isn't over your opponent. It's over the part of you that used to panic, break down, or give in. A few days later, Roger faced Tim Henman in the quarterfinal. And he lost. Straight sets, crushed. But something was different this time. He didn't throw his racket. He didn't spiral. He took the loss, analyzed it, and kept building. That loss didn't end his story. It started his legacy. Lesson? Your breakthrough isn't one win. It's a mindset that survives loss. You can win one battle and still grow by losing the next, if you choose to learn. That 2001 run planted the seed. Federer wouldn't win Wimbledon that year, but he would win 5 years in a row starting in 2003. He became the face of grace under pressure. But never forget, it started with being the kid who cried, broke down, and almost burned out. He learned to transform anger into art, chaos into clarity, and doubt into dominance. Practical insight? Whatever you're working toward, it doesn't need to be perfect today. It just needs to keep growing. Because that version of you you're building, it starts with one breakthrough and 1,000 failures behind it. So, what's your center court? What challenge is standing in front of you that might look impossible, but could change your life? Are you willing to train through the losses? To bet on yourself? To believe that discipline can turn raw emotion into refined greatness? Drop it in the comments. What are you working on right now that scares and excites you? We're building a community of rising warriors, and your story belongs here. Like if this lit a spark. Subscribe to stay fueled with stories that rise and roar. Because like Federer in 2001, your greatest win might be one mindset shift away